Yep. Notice of hearing on small claims appeal. Trial de novo. To take place on April 7th, 2025. Kelly versus Matteson. Again. Yeah, they say don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? I really, truly thought that after 7 years of court dates, due to my neighbor and her friends and her tenants, and having to keep proving what I've been dealing with, that it was done. It was over with. 7 court cases. I prevailed in each one. I even went out and did a little celebratory dance to the fact that no more court dates. It's over with after 7 years. But deep down, yeah, in the back of my mind, I also, knew that my neighbor, the queen of appeal, postponement, continuances, fake feigning in the courtrooms to get additional continuances, lying, claiming she's having surgery, claiming she's in the hospital, just continue, postpone, delay. Yeah. So this is her writing. She's helping her friend John Matteson, who supposedly had nothing to lose, now has something to lose apparently. So he appealed it, and she filed the paperwork. So it's scheduled for April the 7th. Part of me is like, I'm just going to let the judge make that decision, let him prove he doesn't, need to be held to that. That's not him in those videos destroying the retaining wall. That's not him in the videos cussing me out. Yeah. The police reports, they're all fake, right? He keyed up my car. He tried to run me off the road. Anyway, he filed an appeal. And though that is his right, he didn't have to pay anything because he filed a fee waiver, whereas I got to pay because, now I got to. Okay, so apparently my happy dance was short-lived, and there's another hearing coming up, Kelly versus Matteson, and it's an appeal, and hopefully the judge will, see the same thing all the other judges saw, but I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that at worst, if the judge determines he doesn't owe me any money, then he doesn't owe me any money. But yeah, I'm so tired of the court system forcing me to keep proving things, and never once forcing my neighbor or her friends to disprove anything. Yeah, I'm a little, like I said, I was just so excited thinking court was over with and that 2025 was going to be no court appearances. Apparently there's still another one coming up, and more than likely he'll ask for a continuance when we get in there. So again, dragging that out, but yeah. He did destroy the retaining wall. He did saw off my front yard fence. He did key up my car. And I do have a restraining order against him as well as against my neighbor. So, it's like the guy who you see him stealing on camera at Target, but he's going to appeal the fact that, he was found guilty. So that was the estimate when I had a contractor. That's right, a licensed, bonded, insured, qualified individual contractor to replace the retaining wall. And, that's my biggest argument here, is that John Matteson is in no way qualified. He went to the school of homeless encampment 101 building. Nothing he has done over there has lasted more than a day or two, and he's definitely not qualified to be digging along the retaining wall on this property, much less on her property, but on this property in particular, and digging through utility lines. Digging through, he's destroyed the retaining wall, and I, have a contractor who is willing to fix it for a nominal fee, of course. But yeah, I just, like I said, I was hoping this court crap was over with. And so, I gotta show, that not only am I not suing for enough, but clearly Mr. Matteson is not a qualified contractor and has no right, has no permit to be tearing apart my retaining wall. If he wants to do whatever he wants to do over at Crosnoe's house, then she's fine with letting him do that. That's fine. But he doesn't have a right to take away my retaining wall. He just doesn't. All right, so final word here. Clearly I'm stuck going back into the court system, and I need to appear at the Ventura County Superior Courthouse on April 7th at 8:30 in the morning in room 43, because John Matteson III decided to file an appeal, and his good friend Linda Crosnoe, my neighbor, she obviously wrote it all out for him. And, I have a restraining order against her. I have a restraining order against him for the exact same reason that I'm in the court system, because they keep destroying my property. So, okay, first words out of my mouth, when I'm allowed to speak to that judge, is to ask the judge, what is the legal, argument here for Mr. Matteson to file that appeal, since clearly he bragged and boasted and he was just so full of himself, destroying my property, and ha ha ha, I'm destroying your property because I want to, ha ha ha, I just keyed up your car, ha ha ha, you're a narcissistic bitch, ha ha. I shouldn't have to keep trying to prove that these people next door to me are not very nice. But here I am. So yeah, I guess I gotta go back into that courtroom. Hey there, today's date, March 6th. It's getting close to St. Patrick's Day. That's right. Hopefully I'll have the luck of the Irish. I don't know. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go to the appeal, because it's like, I am so tired of having to keep proving. Yeah, I'm just tired of having to keep proving to judges that my neighbor Linda Crosnoe and her friends, currently John Matteson, has gone out of their way for the last 7 years to basically cause me grief, destroy my property. I had to get a restraining order against Linda Crosnoe, her friends, her tenants, current and future, against him because he keyed up my car and tried to run me off the road, and keeps bragging about the fact that he has nothing to lose by destroying my property. And he's doing it because he wants to, and yeah, that life's a bitch. Yeah, I know. It has been, actually, for the last 7 years, because, I've had to prove in multiple courtrooms to multiple judges that my neighbor Linda Crosnoe and her good friend John Matteson and all her other scumbag friends and tenants and stuff that she keeps getting to harass me, destroy my property, that I've been putting up with a lot. And I did. I got my restraining orders in place now against Linda Crosnoe and against John Matteson, and I, was hoping to put the nail in the coffin by suing John Matteson for destroying my property. And I prevailed, and of course, I was not surprised when he appealed it, because Linda Crosnoe is the queen of appeal, appeal, deny, deny, postpone, postpone, continue, continue, fake emergencies in the courtroom, you know, like I said, I've been watching this for the last 7 years, so not surprised when this morning, bright and early, 7:45, a sheriff shows up on my door. I recognize the sheriff. And I'm like, oh, hey, good morning, what's up? And he's like, he let me know that my neighbor is up to her usual tricks, and she is, I guess, apparently having John Matteson, you know, use Gary as a witness. She wants Gary. Call Gary in as a witness. Ha 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 ha. That'll piss her off. Yeah, okay. No, it didn't piss me off. It just, I'm not surprised by it, you know. I'm just irritated. But it makes me think, well, gee, you know, if she's going to play that game still after all of this, even though it's proven multiple times that she's destroying the property and having her friends destroy the property, you know, that maybe I should play that game with her. Maybe I should call John Matteson's ex-wife, Suzanne, in as a witness. Maybe I should call in his kids, Trevor and Hannah, as witnesses as to what kind of character their dad is, right? But, you know, like I said, I am not surprised by the actions of Linda Crosnoe. I'm not surprised by the actions of John Matteson. I'm just, you know, after 7 years of having to prove to multiple judges in multiple courtrooms what scumbag I am living next to and dealing with, because of who I'm living next to, that, you know, somebody should just say, hey, why don't you just leave her alone? Leave the property alone. And, you know, they did technically with the restraining orders. So, you know, I got those in place. But, yeah, I still haven't decided if I'm going to go to the appeal, because I'm just so worn out from having to prove stuff to judges. And it's been 7 years. But we'll see. I don't know. I might decide on the morning of the appeal to go ahead and go. But it's, you know, at this point, still slated for April 7th at 8:30 in the morning, room 43 at the Ventura County Superior Courthouse. But, yeah, just, like I said, not surprised. Just, how, you know, I get it. They get everything for free. They get the sheriff for free. They get the court papers for free. You know, because they're the criminals. They're the scumbags. They get everything for free. But victims, we all got to pay for our paperwork, our filings, our sheriff visit. Yeah, and, you know, don't forget, back when I had him served to be a witness at the small claims trial against Linda Crosnoe, when I was trying to end that settlement agreement, you know, and because he was tearing up the wall, and he avoided the sheriff, hid in her bathroom, and then when the sheriff left, then he leaves, right? And then I had to hire a process server to show up on a Sunday, and got him, and then he didn't show up in that courtroom. And then after I got out of the courtroom that day, he tried to run me off the road, which, you know, I thankfully still have that video too. So yeah, it's like, how many times am I going to be required to keep proving what scumbags I am contending with from next door due to Linda Crosnoe and all her friends? Yeah, worst neighbor ever. I'll keep you posted as to whether or not I show up in court on April 7th. Okay, I'll try his cell phone. Thank you, bye. Oops, I just hung up. I called Matteson on that phone number that is listed on the appeal to let him know that I have all the paperwork he wants to see ready to go for the courthouse. And the person who picked up apparently is his wife. And I'm like, oh, is this Suzanne? She's like, no. Who is this? I'm like, this is Robin Kelly, the person who has a restraining order against your husband, John Matteson. So, you know, she said, well, you're going to have to call him back. Okay. So then I went and called his cell phone. It's also listed. So left a message. But yeah. Apparently somebody's not being honest with somebody somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if Matteson told his wife about the fact that he has a restraining order due to his actions against his friend's neighbor. So why are you destroying my property?
Because I want to.
Because he wants to. Okay, you got it. He said he wants to destroy my property. And of course, life's a bitch.
Now you know. Now you know.
No, I don't know.
Call whoever you got to call.
I don't have to call anybody. They're already on their way.
Okay, go for it.
I'm just documenting everything you do.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Like I said, I'll never understand you guys' mental problem, but clearly you have one. Here's my barrel of cement that got broke apart. She clearly doesn't understand the concept of a retaining wall. And neither does her friend John, because they both believe it needs to be removed so they can do what they want to do. Quit destroying my property. Quit destroying my property. Remember, you don't care. You have nothing to lose. Blah, blah, blah. You didn't show up in court.
Ass tweaking bitch.
You didn't show up in court.
Tweaker alert. Tweaker alert.
That's right. Me and the clowns are fighting over the fact that he's destroying my property. Note how my neighbor is trying to hide the fact that she destroyed my fence. She's got some plants on top of all my bricks and stuff. Oh my God. Yeah, I guess that should conceal what she did, right? Okay, so this is the front yard. And apparently he just goes ahead and throws it on top of my plants, my rocks, and my lighting. Because, you know, vandals like to vandal even upon returning stolen property. And he did that a few times.
See how this brick stops right there? It's that last brick. You see that last one? This is it.
She is right totally in my area. Her and Clown John. Hey, John, you want to tell me why you sawed off my fence? And then zip-tied it to my marker? Yeah, he ran. Why don't you go ahead and tell the judge why you think that my fence needed to be moved from there to there and zip-tied to my marker?
Talk to Linda about it.
I don't have to talk to Linda about it. You're the one that did it. You acted on your own accord. I don't care if Linda told you to do it. You do not live there. You are employed by her. What?
Neither do you.
You're right. I live here and you're taking my property. You're destroying my property. That is my fence. And you disconnected it.
I thought I smelled something funny.
Your shit, no doubt.
Ooh, that shit smells.
Yeah, this light's been on for a week straight now. And that is John Matteson digging in my retaining wall. Say hi, John.
Fuck off, narcissistic bitch.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the same person you saw that was digging in my wall the last time. Removing my retaining wall completely. All right, gotta call the police. All right, Your Honor, there you have it. John Matteson, once again, just picking up, removing our stuff. Okay, John, wave to the judge. That's Adam, the 14-year-old, who's been harassing us every night with the light.
There's Mr. He's 9-year-old.
And, yeah, so that's Adam. He's the 14-year-old. That's what's left of our retaining wall right now. And as you can see, it's up against our backyard fence, and they've removed part of our retaining wall there, too. And that's it. right, there you have it, Your Honor. You just never know which clown you'll see or what act you'll get to entail when you go to the Crosnoe Circus.